Sixth graders, this is your guys' English lesson. To start off with, please put your name at the top so I can give credit to whoever did the work. A blessing. Concept vocabulary. As you perform your first read of a blessing, you will encounter these words: shyly, loneliness, blossom. Context clues. To find the meaning of unfamiliar words, look for clues in the context, which is made up of words and punctuation that surround the unknown word. There are types of context clues that may help you read. Here are two examples. Synonyms. The horses searched and foraged. So I think since searched and foraged are connected for grass on the sandy field with little success, they might mean the same thing, or at least close to it. Contrast of ideas. Petra is shrewd, but her sister is very foolish. So if these are different, we know that these are opposites or something close. So shrewd and foolish must be opposites, or at least kind of close to that. Apply your knowledge of context clues and other vocabulary strategies to determine the meaning of unfamiliar words when you encounter during your first read. First read poetry. Apply these strategies as you conduct your first read. You'll have an opportunity to complete a close read after your first read. A Blessing by James Wright. Background. For thousands of years, people have relied on horses to carry their belongings, plow fields, and take them further and faster than they could go on their own 2 feet. But the relationship with horses is not only about work. We can share a deep emotional connection with these graceful animals. Just right off the highway to Rochester, Minnesota, twilight bounds softly forth on the grass, and the eyes of those 2 Indian ponies darken with kindness. They have come gladly out of the willows to welcome my friend and me. We step over the barbed wire into the pasture, where they have been grazing all day alone. They ripple tensely. They could hardly contain their happiness. That we have come. They bow shyly as wet swans. They love each other. There is no loneliness like theirs. At home once more, they begin munching on the young tufts of spring in the darkness. I would like to hold the slenderer one in my arms, for she has walked over to me and nuzzled my left hand. She is black and white, her mane falls wild on her forehead, and the light breeze moves me to caress her long ear, that is delicate as the skin over a girl's wrist. Suddenly I realized that if I stepped out of my body, I would break into blossom. Okay, comprehension check. Complete the following items after you finish your first read. You review and clarify details with your group. Where does this poem take place? Well, are they in a city? No, they're in a field. They're in a field or a pasture with horses. Who greets the speaker and the speaker's friend? Well, horses. What does the slender one do that moves the speaker? Well, she nuzzles. She nuzzles their left hand. Okay, I'll give you guys a second if you guys need to copy down. And moving on. Expert response questions. Directions: complete the following items after you have read the text. Analyze how a particular sentence fits into the overall structure of a text and contributes to the developments of a theme. Read lines 7 and 8 of A Blessing. Notice that a line break divides the sentences into two parts. Describe the two parts of the sentence. Then explain how the sentence helps to develop the theme. Humans and animals live in separate worlds. So lines 7 and 8. 5, 6, 7. We step over the barbed wire fence into the pasture, where they have been grazing all day alone. The first part of the sentence is them stepping over a fence. So they step over a fence. First part, they step over a fence. Second part, where the horses are. So how does this tell us that humans and animals live in a separate world? Well, they have to cross a fence to get to the horses' world. Two, explain what the text says explicitly. Reread lines 15 through 24 of A Blessing. What does the horse do in this section, and how does the speaker respond to the horse? After his contact with the horse, what does the speaker realize? Cite evidence from the poem to support your response. So 15 through 24. I would like to hold the slender one in my arms, for she has walked over to me and nuzzled my left hand. She is black and white, her mane falls wild on her forehead, and the light breezes moves me to caress her long ear. She is that is delicate as the skin over a girl's wrist. Suddenly I realize that if I stepped out of my body, I would break into blossom. So what does the horse do? The horse walks over. How does the speaker respond to the horse? He caresses the horse? Oh, no, he would like to hold the slender one, so he just wants to hold it. And so he wants to hold the horse. Notice that the poem never actually says he does. What after his contact with the horse, what does the speaker realize? That if he would blossom if he wasn't in his body. And I'll put quotes around blossom to show that it's from the text. Okay. And I'll let you guys do B on your own. 3. Identify a theme and explain how it is conveyed through a particular detail. Identify a theme or central message of a blessing. Then use details from the poem to explain how the poet develops the theme. Let's see. Themes in Blessing. Well, are I guess that the horses are happy to see him. And what are some details that show that? The horses nuzzle them. Um, the horses trot over to them. Okay. I'll let you guys do part B on your own. A blessing. 1. Analyze how do the ponies feel about the speaker and his friend being in the pasture. So, how do the horses feel? The horses like it. How can we tell? Well, they come over. And I'll let you guys do the rest of that page on your own. A blessing. Poets use the musical elements of language to help express thoughts and feelings in their work. In poetry, the rhymes and sounds of words can be just as important as the word's definitions. Poets choose each word carefully to convey a particular meaning, tone, and mood. Here are some of the literary devices that poets use to enhance their poetry. Sound devices are groups of words that create sound patterns and may add a musical quality to poetry. Repetition is the use of any element of language, a sound, word, phrase, or sentence, more than once. Alliteration is the repetition of a letter or sound at the beginning of adjacent or closely connected words. Figurative language is language that does not meant to be taken literally. Similes compare two unlike things using like or as. Metaphors compare two unlike things by saying that one thing is another. The tone of a poet is the poet's attitude towards his or her audience and subject. The tone might be described by an adjective such as formal, serious, playful, and bitter. Answer the following questions about a blessing using textual evidence from the poem to support your responses. What is one example of a simile from a blessing? What is one time where he compares unlike things using like or as? How about they bow shyly as wet swans? Do horses actually look like swans? No. So that is comparing two unlike things using like or as. Okay, and I'll let you guys do the rest of those on your own. Elements of poetry. Next time you read a poem, read it out loud to yourself. You'll find that poets use the musical elements of language to help express thoughts and feelings. In a poem, the rhymes and sounds of words are just as important as what they mean. Below are some of the literary devices that poets use to enhance their poetry. Sound devices are groups of words that create sound patterns. Repetition is the use of a sound, word, or phrase, or sentence more than once. Alliteration is the repetition of a letter or sound at the beginning of words that are close together as when the witches in William Shakespeare's Macbeth chant, "Fair is foul, foul is fair," at the beginning of the play. Figurative language conveys a meaning or interpretation that goes beyond the literal meaning of the words. One type of figurative language is simile. A simile compares two unlike things using like or as in the phrases, "as fast as a hungry cheetah." Metaphor compares two unlike things by saying one thing is another. The tone of a poem is the poet's attitude towards his or her audience and subject. The tone might be described by an adjective such as humorous, angry, sarcastic, or happy. Directions. Read the lines below, then write the sound devices being used, repetition or alliteration. Ball bumped up and bounced back to the goal. Is that repetition, where they're saying the same thing over and over again, or alliteration, where they're using the same word over and over again? It is alliteration. It's the same sound. Ball bumped and bounced back. So I will let you guys do the rest of those on your own. Read the sentences below, then write whether the figurative language device being used is a simile or a metaphor. His laughter was like thunder. Is this using like or as, or is this saying that the laughter equals thunder? So a metaphor is this equals that, when this and that are two different things. So is this saying laugh equals thunder, or is this saying the laughter was as thunder? No, it uses the word was. Was is a linking verb, and linking verbs are basically equal signs. So this is a metaphor. I'll let you do the other one on your own. Directions. Read the lines below, then write the sound device being used. Repetition or alliteration. Showers come in April. Showers come in May. So we have the same sound there and there, but it's with the same word. So it's repetition. We're repeating the same word over and over again. Let you guys do the rest of those on your own. Read the sentences below. Then on the line following each item, write whether the figurative language devices being used is a simile or a metaphor. He was as clumsy as a bull in a china shop. Are we using as or like, or are we saying he equals a bull? No, we're saying he was clumsy as. So this as turns it into a simile. I'll let you guys do the rest of those on your own. Think of a word that best describes the tone of each sentence below and write it on the line. Ah, fresh air and a roaring campfire. Does it get any better? Well, does this sound happy or sad or funny or angry? Content? I'd say it's this sentence is content. Content, or maybe happy. I'll let you guys do the other one on your own. Concept vocabulary. If a boy, directions, in each of the following items, think about the meaning of the italicized words or phrase, then answer the question. If a boy speaks shyly, would you expect him to be yelling? Explain your answer. So, if he's shy, if he's speaking shyly, is he going to be loud? No, he will be quiet. Okay, and I'll let you guys do the other ones on your own. Word study, multiple meaning words. Are words that have more than one definition. Readers can determine the meaning of a multiple meaning word by its context, that is, by looking at how it is used. Read each sentence below, then select the definition that fits the underlined word as it is used in the sentence. 1. She cast the fishing line into the water. Does that mean to throw or to assign parts in a play? Well, I think it means A, to throw. Because if I say she throws the fishing line in the water, that still makes sense. If I say she assigns parts in a play the fishing line into the water, that doesn't really make any sense. I'll let you guys do the rest of them on your own. Multiple meaning words are words that have more than one definition. Readers can determine the meaning of a multiple meaning word by the way it is used in the sentence and by the words that surround it. The word bark is an example of a multiple meaning word. It means a sound that a dog makes or the outer covering of a tree. Readers can determine which meaning is intended by looking at how the word is used in the sentence. Directions. Select the definition that fits the underlined word as it is used in the sentence. The woman's fair complexion means that she got freckles when the sun went out when she went out in the. The woman's fair complexion meant that she got freckles when she went out in the sun. So, is fair here in accordance with rules or light blonde? Well, if we substitute fair for in accordance with rules and said the woman's in accordance with rules complexion, does that make any sense? Nope. So it's got to be B, light blonde. I'll let you guys do the rest of them on your own. Choose the sentence that uses the same meaning as the underlined word. Mark is going to charge his tuition. Does that mean so if Mark is going to charge his tuition, is that the same meaning as she was afraid the bull would charge? Or is that the same meaning as don't charge that book, pay cash for it? Well, in both this case and this case, they're talking about paying for something. So this one. I'll let you do the other one on your own. Directions. Choose the word whose meanings fits both sentences. The librarian read the blank from beginning to end. Her approach to the problem was blank. So, can we say the librarian read the book and her approach to the problem was book? No. The librarian read the original from beginning to end. Her approach to the problem was original. Can we do that one? Yeah, that one seems good, but maybe not the best. The librarian read the novel. Well, can a librarian read a novel? Yeah, that one's pretty good. Her approach to the problem was novel. You think that one's pretty good? I do too. And the librarian read the safe from beginning to end, or her approach to the problem was safe? Well, book and safe are definitely out. Original works, but I don't think it's the best. Novel, on the other hand, fits both great. So we'll go with novel, B. And I'll let you do the other two on your own. Directions. Write 2 sentences for each word, using a different meaning of the word in each sentence. Write 2 sentences for each word, using a different meaning of the words in each sentence. Fly. The fly ate fruit. I fly away. Now, if you were really clever, you would say the fly flies away, and use both meanings in one sentence, but you don't have to. I'll let you guys do the other 2 sentences on your own. If you can fit both meanings into one sentence, more power to you. I will count that as 2 sentences, but you don't have to. Verbs and verb tenses. A verb expresses an action or state of being. Each complete sentence includes at least one verb. Action verbs such as draw and dance describe an action or person, animal, or thing. Some verbs such as think and know describe mental actions instead of physical actions. Linking verbs such as am and is connect a noun or pronoun to a word that identifies or renames or describes it. Example, she is smart. So, linking verbs are equal signs. She equals smart. When a verb is used in a sentence, it has a tense. A verb tense shows that the action or state of being of the verb takes place. 3 simple verb tenses are past tense, present tense, and future tense. Regular verbs such as march and talk form their past tense by adding ed or d. Past, I talked. Irregular verb be, he saw. Past, I talked. Present, I talk. Future, I will talk. Past of saw, or past of be, that should be C. It's not actually B, it is C. Past is he saw. Past, or present is he sees. Future is he will see. Underline the verb in each sentence, then identify the verb tense by writing past, present, or future. The ponies come out to greet their riders. So, is that past, present, or future? Today I come, yesterday I came out to greet my riders. I think it is present. And I'll let you do the other ones on your own. Directions. Complete each sentence by writing the correct verb tense on the line provided. The hints in parentheses tell you which verb and tense to use. So, past tense of learn. Today we learn, yesterday we learned a lot about horses. Okay, I think you guys can do the rest of them on your own. A verb expresses an action or state of being. Each complete sentence includes at least one verb. Action verbs such as walk, sing, laugh describe the action of a person, animal, or thing. Some verbs such as believe or understand describe the mental actions instead of physical actions. Linking verbs such as am, is, or were connect a noun or pronoun to a word that identifies, renames, or describes it. Example, she is smart. She equals smart. When a verb is used in a sentence, it has a tense. A verb tense shows when the verb action or state of being of the verb takes place. The 3 simple tenses are past tense, present tense, and future tense. Regular verbs such as follow and walk form their past tense by adding ed or d. Past, I walked. Present, I walk. Future, I will walk. Past, he went. Present, he goes. Future, he will be going. Directions. Underline the verb in each sentence, then identify the verb tense by writing past, present, or future on the line provided. The bus arrived. Is that past, present, or future? It is past. I think you guys can do the rest of these on your own. Directions. Underline the correct verb form in parentheses, then identify the tense by writing past, present, and future on the line provided. The oranges we ate this morning were or are tasty. Well, if it's in the morning, it's past, and that is were. According to my science teacher, the human eye works, will work. Well, do humans have eyes right now? Then it's present. And we use works. Yesterday on, oh, sorry, shouldn't do more than one for you guys. You guys can do the rest of those on your own. Complete each sentence by writing the correct verb tense on the line provided. The hints in parentheses tell you which verb and tense to use. Past tense of learn. As a child, Vincent. So what is the past tense of learn? Today I learned. Yesterday I learned. To greet his grandfather respectfully. I think you guys can do the rest of those on your own. And that's the end. please turn these in. I look forward to what you guys turn in. I will take it all and grade it. Thank you all very much. I will talk to you later.